definitely do look like you're staring up a little bit.
Yeah, it's up here.
I can see.
Yeah, we can see you, brother. Believe it or not.
What's that?
I said we can see you, brother. Believe it or not. Yeah. Do I look tanner? Do I look gleamy? Is gleamy
You
even
do
a
look
word?
gleamy.
Yeah. Didn't get much sun, but boy, it was great. The vacation was great.
Oh, good. I'm glad during this time of tragedy and trauma and the rest of American society, you were able to wisp yourself away down to the Florida Keys for some good old relaxing sunshine.
Yeah. And here's the takeaway. This is one of the most. I felt a lot of emotions when I witnessed and heard this event. It was front and center for me. So, went to the Hemingway house. Okay, so it was the house of Ernest Hemingway for, I think he lived in the Keys for 7 years, give or take. Went there, it was great. It was very well done, well worth it. A lot of cool little nooks, and they had the little what do you call those? The little kind of information stands. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say crannies. Usually that's what accompanies the nooks.
Is that what that is? A cranny?
Yeah, nooks and crannies. Yes.
I mean, according to Thomas's English, but yes.
I'm talking about the little stand-up plaque that has tidbits of information.
Yeah, it's a cranny.
Yeah, yep,
okay,
that's
Never heard that. Didn't know. Did Hemingway write that? Anyway,
Yes.
So we're getting ready to leave the place, and there's this fucking family of probably, I don't know, 12, 13. My best guess is they were from the greater Milwaukee area. Some guy had a Brewers shirt on. And they looked like a family of 13 from the greater Milwaukee area, if you want to, envision something like that. And one of the younger ones of the crowd, man, my guess is not man, comma, he was a man, 17 to 21. Okay. That's my guess on his age range. And he's looking up at the building. He looks at his family and goes, "What's a Hemingway?" What is a Hemingway? Now, here's the thing. Okay. I admittedly have not read a lot of Hemingway. I've read some short stories, okay? And that probably, in my opinion, is actually an insult to the literary world. One of the greatest modern writers of all time. And I feel bad because I haven't read a lot of his stuff, okay? This jackwagon asked like it's a noun. What is a Hemingway? Well, I guess Hemingway was a person, but it was very depressing. It was, oh man, it kind of shook me to the core. Like, oh boy, you're gonna have a rough road, buddy.
Well,
Maybe
in all honesty, I didn't know that. I mean, I know what a Hemingway is. I know who Hemingway is, but I didn't necessarily know that the Hemingway house was down. Where'd you go? Where exactly is it?
It was in Key West, but he didn't know it was a person. He asked, "What's a Hemingway? Is it a garden tool? Is it a house? Some sort of siding? Some sort of Art Deco house creation in the 30s? Actually, this is in the late 1800s, but." The house
They are from Milwaukee, right? I mean, Bob Uecker is their hero. So, I mean, how much more information did you want them to contain inside their dopey little brains? Well, at least they're doing well to make their way out to Key West, right?
Someone from the family corrected him, whipped him into shape. But it's still, I mean, I don't know. I can feel like even the most moderately intelligent individual should be able to. Ernest Hemingway, author, boom.
Well, I mean, that's not his fault, though. I mean, isn't that a indictment on the American education system? If somebody that old doesn't know what's a Hemingway? You should have just told him it was a fucking bird and just moved on with life and not been upset about it. And then you could have walked away knowing that you made a dumb person even dumber, which is a very difficult thing to do. But man, when you can accomplish that mission, oh, it's a pat on the back.
A dumb person.
Murr's kind of right. It is an indictment on the American education system, but at the same time, it is his fucking fault. Like, generally, we're about to get deep for a second, but fucking the pervasiveness of our anti-educationness in the United States is ridiculous. But it is still the fucking individual who goes to fucking school's job to listen. Like somebody in that gentleman's schooling described Ernest Hemingway. Probably said he had a house in Key West. It's a fun fact. Like if I hosted bar trivia. If I had a Hemingway fucking category, it would definitely say something about Key West house. Because it's just a general factoid. Like he did not pick up on that. Somebody said it to him. I guarantee you, one adult person in his life said it, and he just didn't fucking pick up on it. That's his fault.
Didn't Hemingway live in Cuba too, or something?
No, he used to fish and travel down there a lot from Key West. It's about
okay.
I can't remember the mileage. It's under 100 miles. So you fish, you boat, you get out, drink a little.
Well, I mean, if you can make it across to Florida on a fucking 1950 fucking Ford that's reinforced by an inner tube, then yeah, I guess it's not that far away. I guess it's a journey that can be made by sound boat at some point. Dude, Hemingway must have lived like a fucking boss, dude. I mean, he just wrote books, you know. I mean, I'm sure he's a little self-loathing. You don't get to be an author of that status unless you got some mildly pervasive, to use Alan's word, depressive issues. He's went fishing and lived in fucking paradise.
Yeah, so
went to a communist country and pillaged that motherfucker. Sure, he banged a bunch of whores down there.
So he so he had the house with his wife and firstborn, and then there was a walkway to his writing quarters. The walkway had been damaged by a hurricane after he had left, and they never repaired it. But you could go out of the house and then go up to the writing quarters. Apparently, he would wake up at 6, go to the writing quarters till about 11:30, maybe even lunchtime if he was really cranking out something good, and then we'd come back in for lunch, and that'd be his day. He'd usually go fishing or whatever, man, boozing, go down to Cuba. The other interesting fact was he was a really good boxer, and he used to
fight children.
He would spar fishermen on the docks. The deal was 3 rounds. You got 3 rounds to knock him out, and if you could, he'd give you $300. Which in that day, in the 30s, to a fucking fisherman on the shore of Key West, it was a king's ransom.
Oh shit! Well, if they knock you out, I guess they can take whatever they want. So.
Maybe it was not. Maybe it was like he couldn't get the 10 count. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't think it was knocked down.
I don't really know much about him either. But was he already famous and shit when he was down in Key West? I assume
he was on
he had $300 to give away.
He was on the upslope that was. It crested into his peak at Key West in terms of his like his fictional writing. When he lived in Paris before, he was writing for a newspaper, and Gertrude Stein said, "You shouldn't do that. You need to fly."
This fucking guy.
You need to fly.
Look at this guy coming intellectual with this episode. I think he took to heart the last couple episodes that we made fun of his ridiculous, like, abstract movie pulls. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about him. I'm going to say Gertrude Stein. He wrote it down. He's like, I'm going to say Gertrude Stein today.
Yeah. I said it to I said it to Sarah probably 30 times. Like, am I saying it right? Gertrude Stein? Gertrude Stein?
Gertrude. Got it.
Yeah.
So what's one factoid you got off this pedestal that you're going to use about Ernest Hemingway for the rest of your life to make people look like assholes at dinner parties?
Ooh. Let's see here.
I'm going to use the newspaper one now because I didn't know that in Paris, and then say Gertrude Stein. So
yeah,
at dinner parties, people could be like, "What? This fucking guy knows everything."
Here's so we talk about his ball and status. His wife's uncle was also wealthy, and he actually paid for that house in Key West.
Now, this actually brings up a conversation I had with your brother. We were talking about, like, I just told him I just need enough money to do nothing. And he said, what do you mean by do nothing? I said, if I had enough money, I would literally do nothing. Like, I would sit in this house in Conowingo, and I would watch fucking Pawn Stars marathons and just sit on my fucking couch. Like, I wouldn't do anything. And that's kind of sounds like what Hemingway sort of kind of did. He ended up getting the baller status, got himself a place in paradise, and just did whatever the fuck he wanted. Because I know he was doing something.
Hold on, I got to interject. He wrote a vast majority of his like quality shit while living there.
Yeah, doing nothing. He was sitting around doing nothing. His runoff, his intellectual runoff.
Writing novels, award-winning and long-lasting novels, is a far cry from doing nothing, but go on. Yeah.
When you have time to be bored enough to let your creative juices just flow from your body, success breeds more success. He had enough cash to sit down and do jack shit, and in doing jack shit, he got so bored that he ended up doing something, and that something that he did was a fucking amazing, which allowed him to do more of nothing. And if you want to challenge me on that, he got to go down to fishing docks and fight strangers for money because he was fucking bored.
Yeah. No, he's absolutely right. Like, I got derailed originally, but my whole point was, like, I didn't know that's how he got the house. So that's a good tidbit to know, because I was going to say that, like, this was during the time when, you know, people would, like, give artists fucking free homes and be like, yeah, just go be an artist, because people still cared about that shit. You know what I mean? But either way, he was still fucking privileged enough to go down and fucking kick it and write for half the day and then go fishing and fight fucking fishermen.
Okay, but what Murr has just said is that he wouldn't even do anything creative because he was doing nothing. He would just continue to do more of nothing. I mean, I guess is that the difference between Andrew Murr and Ernest Hemingway?
Yeah, that's a gross misuse of free time. But, you know, to each his own. If he's good, you know. Now, for all intents and purposes, all I'm saying, sorry to cut you off, Murr. Half of all that time, like, if Ernest Hemingway didn't write anything meaningful in all that time, he'd just be a fucking guy. So we got a little lucky. You know what I mean? He was Ernest Hemingway. Haven't had a ton of those since. So
the problem with me, Wes, is that I constantly disappoint myself. So every time I say I would sit down and do nothing, I'd end up sitting on the couch and be like, God damn it, I feel like I want to make some furniture. And then I'd go outside and I'd probably make award-winning furniture because I didn't have anything else to do. And I was so bored, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I'd just sit out in my garage and I'd tinker. And so I'd love to get to a point where I can do nothing. I feel like I do my best work when I'm not doing anything at all. And I think that's the life that someone like Ernest Hemingway fell into. Pablo Picasso, same thing with him. Once he started making money off of art, he started doing weird shit. Why? Because he could. He'd go to a cafe and be like, "Oh, Mr. Picasso, your bill is $45." And then he would just fucking take their notepad and be like, "There, you got a Picasso. Get on my ass." You know, like, God, just that fucking lifestyle. Even Kid Rock said, "I never needed money. I needed money, and then when I got money, I didn't need money anymore." You don't have to pay for anything. They comp him for everything. You just roam around just gallivant around town, and people just pay for your shit. I just need some money. We all need some money. Let's all get some money.
This conversation that involved and started with Ernest Hemingway that somehow had a brief exodus with Pablo Picasso was instantly dragged down by a 50-pound anchor when you mentioned Kid Rock. God damn it. Why'd you do that?
How dare you?
Why'd you do that?
How dare you?
How dare I? How dare you?
Yeah. Kid Rock is a formative artist of the 1990s, okay? He was a rock rap entrepreneur who came around at the exact right time and capitalized. It's a musician for the ages, motherfucker.
Middle Classholes, everybody. Middle Classholes.
The bar's still.
I'm Wes. Murr. Alan. The week-long hiatus. Welcome back. 10 minutes, 13 minutes of blabbering. Whatever, man. Here's another interesting thing that happened in Key West, all right? And this will conveniently segue into our first bit. So after a few days of eating well, and by well I mean going out and eating like shit, and drinking for better portions of the day, got to a point where the number twos weren't so number two-y, weren't so buoyant. Yeah, they were slipping into more like number three. And I was like, okay, yeah. So don't trust things tonight. Don't always be on top of your shit. And we were walking down the street, getting closer to a bar that we had some drink tickets on, and I kind of said, okay, we got to get there soonish. Walk with a purpose. Nothing. I'm not need to clench the butt cheeks and run, but let's pick up the pace a little bit. And this fucking guy who was a professional scare tactic person standing behind bushes, like pulled him to the side, was like, "Whoa!" Sarah screams at the top of her lungs, grabs me. I'm like, "Whoa, whoa." And, oh man, that was really funny. Literally almost pooped my pants on Duval Street, which is the party fucking central of Key West, walking down. Whew, man, close.
That's awesome. You sure didn't meet a time traveler of yourself circa 1995?
It could be. I was doing blackface if it was me. Yeah.
Did you have on white shorts?
No.
That's what we need to know.
It's,
So close.
yeah, we need to make a pit stop into one of the side shops. So what I was getting at is MSNB correspondent. Is it Ken Delinian?
Is it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
D-I-L, I think it's Delilian.
Is that what they signed it as?
He's an MSNBC correspondent. I don't know what his sign is. All right, just watch for yourself. The rumor is that he crapped his pants while giving a I don't know. He's about to do a news break.
Delanian has some new reporting on something that we talked about at the top of the hour, how the Trump administration is handling the transition with the incoming Biden team, or not handling it, we should say, to a certain extent. This time, it involves our intelligence community. Ken, what have you learned, sir? Oh, shit. Fuck. Okay.
Let her play.
This is Ken Delanian.
I like that. Okay. There's no other evidence that said that he had pooped his pants, other than he had said he gave a tweet later on apologizing, blaming it on a technical difficulty in working from home. He said, "Sorry for the profanity I used on air last hour. I was experiencing some technical difficulties and mistakenly hung up on the control room, though my mic was still on. Perils of playing producer, cameraman, tech support, and talent all while at home. Hashtag 2020. So basically, he said he coined it up to. He thought thought that he had disconnected himself from the headquarters. I didn't read anything else there that says, like, yeah, he pooped himself.
Oh, God, those eyes.
Oh, it was the eyes gave it away?
Those eyes looked like pure panic.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he did,
Go ahead.
if he did poop his pants, that meant that he was wearing like probably suit pants.
Yeah.
And something came out the leg. and that would definitely justify the oh shit, fuck response.
Yeah.
What I did want to see though, this might go down in history as the first time a news anchor has handled the situation appropriately. Because as the clip plays on, I saw the full clip. Homeboy doesn't panic or go into full on, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You've never heard this language before, obviously, in your entire life." He just goes, "Well, something happened. Let's move on." It's the first time a news person hasn't inappropriately interrupted and derailed an entire news segment just because there was some bad language said. So I do applaud that man for his newfound professionalism.
So, Alan, you think the eyes gave it away? That's the telltale. As the poop correspondent here at the Middle Classholes, you're saying actually probably Murr is. I don't know.
I think
Murr's the fart.
poop correspondent.
I think the fart, but whatever. We'll share a little love here with the number two.
I think gastrointestinal correspondent would really do for her. But to answer your question, yeah, I think those were eyes of pure panic. Now, as a TV professional, I'm sure losing connection to the control room is a panic-worthy, occurrence. If he's like about to go live and then loses the oh shit fuck sounds probably like a reasonable response. But his eyes said something funny happened is all I'm saying. I don't know what. Could be poo related. Don't know. Most likely.
You say like 75%, like 75, 80% sure.
Well, I got a cousin from whatever county in the United States that local newscast is from, and he said he thinks it was poop.
Yeah, because I want to know where the poop storyline came from. I know we live in an era
Yo.
of, pardon the phrasing, but we live in the era of fake news and everything and clickbaity stuff and all that. But someone somewhere had to hear an utterance of shit thy pants. Otherwise, why would you even assume that's
Takes
what
out the
that
handkerchief.
was?
Sorry. I'm killing it with these lately. So you're saying someone had to hear the poop?
Someone had to hear a rumor of poop in the pants. Otherwise, I just don't feel like that clip necessarily warranted any kind of mentioning of the shadow of the pantle. And it would have just been like, I don't know, maybe it is clickbaity. Just having a guy cuss on live TV is funny enough. You don't really need to juice it up with some runny turd diarrhea.
Literally.
But if it was runny turd diarrhea, that's what it had to be. Otherwise, he wouldn't have looked down at his shoes.
Yeah, like he didn't look down.
Yeah, that's not shameful. That's ooh, good.
Some like young intern probably could have leaked the juice, as they say.
They say leak the juice. It's like the story leaks,
Some
but
people say that. I think I don't know.
you guys, I don't know if you guys saw this. This is definitive evidence of of disgusting things. All right, via
Blowing his nose.
so he blows his nose.
Takes it booger side in. Smears his hands all over it. Wipes it into his lips. All over his face! Son, he's wiping snot all over his face. Smearing his hands into it.
Yeah, that
Is
was
that Giuliani?
I think it is, unless
Yeah,
it's
it
some
is.
fucking
at
like
at a press conference today.
that Ted or whatever that presidential lookalike movie from the early '90s. Could be the same thing, but I think that's like we were talking about it today. Me and my buddies were saying first of all, who has a handkerchief anymore?
People Giuliani's age,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah. Old
They're like
dudes.
the last generation.
Yeah.
No,
but
I do want to
just-
give Giuliani.
Go ahead.
I do want to give Giuliani a little bit of a pass on this handkerchief action. I just think what happened, and I do want to paint a picture for those of you just listening. So Rudy Giuliani pulls a handkerchief out, classic white square, rub your eyes, blow your nose handkerchief, and blows his nose full force, and then he looks down at it, and then he proceeds to fold it, but he folds it in the wrong direction. He folds it, instead of like folding it inward over top of the snot, kind of
Right.
making a snot sandwich, he actually folds it the other way and then proceeds to rub the handkerchief all over his lips, face, eyes.
Wiped his brow,
every-
wiped his mouth. And, I think even if you were able to, even if you do that successfully, even if you go snot side in and you wipe your mouth and brow, that's still pushing it, in my opinion, of disgusting. And he didn't know. I mean, I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure that wasn't a planned choreographed thing, but ugh.
No, I just think he meant to go for the inside fold, and then he got confused, and then was like, oh shit, and didn't even think about it. His brain didn't even register, like, oh shit, I folded it the wrong way, and then proceeded to...
Right.
But
And-
then again, how moist was the, sometimes just get a little bit of a, little bit of a drippy drip. So
I don't know.
how moist was it?
He got a blow in there, so that he had to have a little bit of particulate. Look, accidents happen, but I think more to what I think it might be is just we got a lot of senile people in powerful positions across the board, and we got to stop letting people. We got to stop letting dudes like this talk for an hour and a half on television. Like, I don't know if you saw the other hysterical thing that happened from that. Also, might be a hypothesis of why he didn't really notice, because my man was quite sweaty. He had worked himself up into quite a fervor defending the president and the election. So if you could give me the share real quick, I'd like to share with you another Rudy Giuliani gem from this afternoon.
Got it.
So I'm assuming that the Just for Men was pretty freshly applied.
Whoa.
And he was leaking on both sides.
Damn.
So
Oh my
if you didn't catch the press conference,
So it looks like, so you got like hair, then what was once fake hair, which is now skin, and then what looks to be like caviar that they wiped on the side of his a little sliver, a little Coke line of caviar.
they were in the green room and that's all they really had and it matched. So they're like, fuck it, just paste some caviar on there.
I guess. And then I don't know, is that just sweat along the balding top there? Because I see a couple.
Yeah.
That's okay. And those little red dots are.
You can take a look. There's quite a few.
Gotcha.
Oh my
Shoo-wee.
God.
It's tears, baby, and then the handkerchief again. I used to like Rudy. I liked him when he was the mayor, but man.
I mean, he was like America's mayor.
Fuck yeah, he was. Yeah.
For a little while.
He was.
Now he's wiping snot on his face on national television and leaking just for men.
Man. Dude, I mean, as far as Giuliani goes, he like almost quite literally helped bring a city back from destruction, not once, but twice. The biggest, greatest city that's ever existed on planet Earth. That dude helped save New York City, is now hanging out with some slack-jaw fucking Georgian local prosecutor trying to find 7,000 votes in a fucking trash bin somewhere, digging around with fucking mascara on his fucking temples, leaking like Tammy Faye Baker just fucking gutted a fish. It's the worst fucking end to a fucking prolific career I've ever witnessed. My God.
Can't wait to cut that into a
Yeah. Bumper City. Here we go. God, we're going to plaster that all over every fucking social media outlet we have.
Man.
You almost ran out of breath on that fucker.
Like, I did. It was a good strain of consciousness.
I looked at it today and I literally was like, oh my God, what's happening? Like this, we're reaching cartoon. We're reaching like third world levels. I'm pretty sure like other committees around the world are like, whew, you know what list of countries you should watch in election results is? Like Iran, Chad, and the United States. The United States is pretty up there for civil unrest. We're fucking up, guys. Big time.
Bottom line, and not to get serious on this, but like considering the last 4 years and considering Trump and yada yada and all this, I was, like, okay, everybody, let's just hold our horses on calling the election. Maybe there was some voter fraud. Let's check it out first and just make sure this thing is clean and clear so that we can hold our heads held high. And then these are the fucking Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey bastards that are going through and trying to figure it out. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Even if there was massive voter fraud, the fact that these are the stars of the fucking The Office U.S. version, The Office, Washington, D.C., Rudy Giuliani is now like the Michael Scott of lawyers.
Yes.
It's just stop now, okay? Stop. Just all right. It's over.
The Dems rigged the election to a point where the GOP won the Senate. I mean, that was the plan all along. You can't make it look too good. You gotta give the Republicans the Senate, but you gotta rig the election for the president.
And all these Republican, state Supreme Court judges are tossing out legal disputes, and all these Republican secretaries of state who run the elections, they were clearly just handing it over to Biden because fuck it.
They're all in on it. I mean, it's conspiracy. This has conspiracy written all over it. It is fucking knee deep in the conspiracy fucking stream.
No, I agree with Murray's original comment that yes, let's make sure everything's above board. But I think at this point it's pretty fucking clear. We got an answer, okay? Stop, guys. It's a circus now. Rudy's leaking.
Problem for me.
It's terrible.
The problem for me now is that if they did really win, the manner in which they proved it gives me less confidence than the cheaters. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just let the cheaters have it. They did a much better job cheating than you guys did at uncovering the cheating. So they were more professional in their ability to steal this thing. So you know what? I am just going to let them have it. Let's just go. Let's move forward.
You know, I was thinking about this. So, like, okay, and I think about like, okay, if they could have rigged an election, why wouldn't have they done it 4 years ago? And then obviously it's because the techniques of cheating have gotten so much more intricate and strategic, where they've involved the UPS and the American or the mailing services, right? They've involved UPS, but not UPS. What am I saying?
I think it's really just decades of stolen elections. You know, like 2016, it's fucking Putin and his boys. You know, fucking 2020, it's Antifa and fucking vote the postal service and fucking stuffing ballots in boxes. Right. You know, cheating's cheating. Fuck it.
But that's my point. Like they couldn't get away with it in 2016, so they had to go old school analog and get the postal service involved.
You had to go paper.
Yeah.
I do want to jump in here. In 2016, they just thought they were going to win it, and they didn't need to cheat. So
Yeah, that's true.
They lost.
That's true.
Also true.
Yes.
And
true.
Then this year, what I would say about like quote unquote ballot fixing or stuffing, if you're in the counting station, you're like, oh shit, we need like. Jimmy, we need like 5,000 more. It's a lot easier to bubble one dot than to bubble like 15 to try to win everything else. Like, you know, you're just going for the big card. You're going for the big guy. Going for Big Biden B. You're not trying to bubble in like, and hey, who's the comptroller? Who do we want? Like, you can't do that in that moment. So you would just fill out one dot and run it through.
There's actually really good a guy I work with, because in Maryland, you guys all live in Maryland. Sorry, like. For those of you who don't live in Maryland, we had a vote for sports gambling, sports betting, which got approved. It's going to come here. And one of my coworkers was like, was it bad after I voted for president that I immediately made a beeline for that? It's like 13 votes later. Like, gambling, yes. I mean, I voted
That's
yes.
actually exactly what I did, so I didn't forget to bubble it.
Yeah.
Nice. It's coming here. People don't have to travel to Pennsylvania to hit their GPS to make bets.
No, you got to really
apparently
focus on the important things on the ballot. Not really president. Shit doesn't matter.
I just want to thank the great state of New Jersey. I'll be making a few trips there sometime after the first of the year.
What happened in Jersey?
What? I don't know. I have to look down the ballot box, see what happened.
I have no idea.
They finally legalized some things that should probably be legal across the U.S.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Fair enough. I'll look it up at our first break. Real quick before we get to our first break, former heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson is the latest athlete to admit to using a device called a Wizinator, a prosthetic penis that someone is trying to get away with a urine test. They use someone else's urine. In a conversation he had on his podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, he spoke to, Jeff Nowitzki, vice president of an athlete health and performance thing for the UFC. He explained his exploits of the device. It was awesome, man. I put my baby's urine in it, and sometimes I would use my wife, and my wife would be like, "Baby, you better not be coming back. It might come back as pregnant or something." And I said, "Nah, ain't gonna use this anymore. We'll use the kids because I got scared my piss might come back pregnant." That was a Tyson bit right there. Basically, I think one of the funniest things was this guy Nowitzki asked if he had ever used a white dude's penis, because apparently he caught an NFL guy who used the wrong color piss for a drug test. Did you read that part?
The wrong color
penis,
prosthetic.
like a guy, prosthetic, yeah. So an African American NFL player pulled out a white dick and started taking his drug test, and he's like, "Hey, that's
What you my dick for?"
That's a fair question.
Yeah. Hey man, you got to do what you got to do.
Now,
you know?
Tyson said it was never for PEDs. It was only for coke or marijuana, which would make him fail a drug test.
Yeah, touche.
Right.
You know,
and those are performance inhibiting drugs. I find it more fascinating that he was high and shit.
It depends on how recent the coke was, but
Fair. Very fair.
this is now that blanket statement back just a bit. But yeah, I think generally speaking, like, yeah, fuck it. You smoke a big old blunt before you get in the boxing ring. I mean, it seems counterproductive, but fuck it, go for it. We just need to make sure
Dude.
you're not taking like horse fucking steroid.
Sure. No, I
I
agree.
have heard that a lot of these action sports guys do get high as shit before they perform because they say it like it focuses them in like on whatever task they're doing. So like a lot of these snowboarders are getting high as shit as they're coming down the mountain because it reduces their anxiety about like the balls shit crazy things they're getting ready to do on like fresh powdered snow on a fucking plank that's been waxed up to let them glide down the mountain like Clark Griswold on a fucking sled. And so like
Surf's up,
they're
dude.
so stoned. They're just so stoned they're focused in on what they're doing. So weed could be a performance enhancing drug, but yeah, but not in the classical sense.
Yeah, I don't think dudes getting in the ring to beat their fucking snot out of each other. No, I don't think they're... Most of them anyway. I don't think they use marijuana as a performance-enhancing substance. I don't know. I just find it fun. I mean, I wouldn't put it past, especially like the late 80s. You know, not to say like the Wizinator, whoever's administering a test is now supposed to take like Wizinator identification classes or anything of that nature. I'm sure it's like, you know, it's not behind closed doors, but in front of someone. But anyway, it doesn't shock me that Iron Mike was using a rubber wiener to pass a piss
Not
test.
at all.
I think using his baby's piss is probably the smartest thing he's ever done in his career.
Yeah.
You heard it from him. I mean, that was a clip.
Yeah. I just like you did that was a very sound Mike Tyson impersonation, by the way. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, top of the line, but like that was well delivered. And I just didn't want my pee to come back pregnant. That's just I want that clip isolated and run.
Let's get on high. We'll
For
see if
eternity.
you think if
We
we
need
could
soundboards, man.
we could write into Mike Tyson hotboxing. He's got a podcast. Then we're big fans. We got an up and coming podcast that use a little help.
Yeah, no, I just feel like Tyson, if he feels like he's being wronged, whether he is or he isn't, if he feels as though he's being mocked, that could be a bad day for us. Because I don't know if you saw the most recent picture of what he looks like right now.
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. is going to be pissing himself very soon.
Look,
And I don't want any fury from Tyson coming my direction.
hypothetically speaking, we push this. Wes was the one that did it.
Mm-hmm.
We sell it as Wes gets hit in the face or wherever by Mike Tyson, and then, you know, he'll probably be like a vegetable. But our podcast will take off, and
Yeah.
me, you, and like, we'll, you know, we'll take care of Wes. But we could get famous off this.
Yeah.
I'll just prop him up and watch him roll.
I'm okay with the sack. Like, we can weekend at Wes's and just, you know, just hang him around and just cart him around. We can go to Key West with him if we really want to.
Like a warm, creamy chutney. Get ready for another spoonful of the Middle Classholes.
Welcome back to the Middle Classholes. Murr. Do you know whose birthday it is today? One of your heroes. We've talked about him on the show.
Doug Flutie?
Ted Turner.
Oh, it is Ted Turner's birthday today?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that magnificent son of a bitch.
What do you think he did
God,
today? Sailed? Fucked something? Up?
Yeah, he definitely smoked a cigar. He probably killed an endangered species and then gave money to an organization that breeds said species that he shot. Then he had probably a nice giraffe steak dinner on a yacht that he sailed himself. Yes, I believe that's how Ted Turner's day went.
Beautiful.
Sounds
Goddamn.
reasonable.
Picturesque. Just probably ran into him in the Keys. Didn't know it. Alan, I don't know if you saw Mount St. Joe's own Jalen Stick Smith drafted 10th last night. Did you throw a celebration party? Were you asleep by the time he got drafted?
Nope. I was actually in his living room.
No, that was you.
No, yeah, it was me. I was hanging out in the back. I was just, I was eating chips and dip, which I feel like was really weird because, you know, COVID and all, but it was delicious. No, I did. Well, I didn't watch it because I don't fucking watch the NBA. I'm sorry. But I did check it out. I noticed that he was going to go. I think pretty high is what I thought, and then he went 10th, right, overall?
10th to the Phoenix Suns, yeah. And just for context, Maryland basketball player Jalen Smith got drafted number 10 overall by the Phoenix Suns. He's an alumnus of the same high school that Alan went to, Mount St. Joe.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's several years behind you, and you have no idea who he actually is.
Yeah, just a bit.
Okay. All right.
No,
yeah, just making sure.
It's a brotherhood.
Just making sure there's no real connection to care about. Just making sure.
No.
Switching subjects from Mount St. Joe. Mount St. Joe drafted NBA stars in a recent poll that was sent out via travelandleisure.com. They did a bucket list survey with a bunch of people, what did it say, ages 11 to 24. And it was kind of a common must-do experiences, all right? And the survey found a few obvious reasons why people may not feel satisfied, including 4 of 10, 42% Americans saying they've never visited another country, while 15% of young Americans say they never left the state they were born in. But some less obvious. And of course, I get to travel and leisure. Would you take our quiz? Reasons like over half of young Americans, 54%, say they have never had the simple joy of seeing a cow in real life. Again, more than half of young Americans have not seen a cow in real life. Some of others, 13% of respondents saying they've never sent snail mail. 19% have never cooked a meal from scratch. 27% have never seen the sunrise. 43% have never had an outdoor experience like camping, hiking. 58% never done a DIY project. Some of those, I can certainly sympathize with, but 54 Americans have not seen a cow. Now, Murr, you and I may take it for granted where we grew up, but Alan, I'll defer to you. A outside of Baltimore City, born and bred. You've seen a cow in the wild, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Definitely. I don't know. I wouldn't say in the wild per se because most cows are captive, but
you've been to Assateague Island. Cows all over the place.
I have seen a live cow. I mean, shit. Like, not like do other places not have fairs and shit too? At the very least, like, I mean, I've seen one just kind of driving around, but like, you can basically watch one give birth at any state fair. So, why? I don't really understand, but hey, again, America is not about learning stuff anymore.
Yeah. Now, Wes, I'm glad that you picked this story to go through because I didn't know if this was your cup of tea. But when I saw the numbers on this, I was like, come on. I'm just going to send this and see if Wes finds it as interesting as I do. Okay, let's break it down. How do you not see a cow? That's my question. Because 54%, that's over half of people 11 to 24 years old have not seen a cow. How do you not see a cow? It's like you said, just driving around. I almost feel like it's America. It's what we do.
Right.
We fucking cut cows and eat them. That's our gig. How do you not see a cow? The sunset thing kind of tripped me out too, by the way. I mean,
that was pretty.
How do you not see
bad.
a fucking sunset accidentally one time?
My only guess is you get. They didn't give any real statistics or data on where they drew this questionnaire from or where these people live. My only guess is you've lived in New York or Los Angeles and just never been outside of that you grew up in Brooklyn and never left, at least until not at that point anyway. What was it, 24 years old?
Yeah,
that's not inconceivable. That's my only guess because I mean, I lived in Baltimore for 12 years. I mean, I grew up in Cecil County. I saw cows all the time driving around, but even now, like, drive outside the city limits for, I don't know, any direction for 5 miles, you'll see them if you get off 95.
Yeah, I mean, especially here, like, fuck, I see them in containers being driven around, like that. Even that is even the bare minimum of like cow head through a hole on a fucking highway,
right?
Like. That you haven't caught one of those, and this is where I'm starting to believe that maybe this demographic doesn't fucking know what a cow is. So they probably seen one and they're just like, it was that. That's a fat ass horse. No, it's a cow, you idiot. Fucking, not all fucking 4-legged animals that size are horses. I think that's more what we're leaning towards. Is like these people just don't know that they saw a cow.
I'm trying to think if there's another type of animal that maybe we haven't seen that someone in another country would be freaked out that we'd never seen. But we've all three been to a zoo at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
So we can
multiple.
all say that we've seen a giraffe in person. We've seen a tiger. We've seen I've seen a fucking camel. Like I feel like I've seen a lot of like your column A animals in life. And just, it does make me wonder if these morons that don't know who Ernest Hemingway is and have never seen a cow or a sunset or sunrise, have they been to a zoo? I mean, maybe have they never? And don't most zoos have like a petting zoo of some kind? It's like Alan said, like you go to a county fair and a coin flip, you might see a live birth at a fucking county fair.
Dude, like at county fair, you even see fucking some exotic animal. Like somebody brings a fucking peacock, and you haven't seen a cow. For Christ's sake, like that doesn't make any sense.
I want to say,
I think people don't know what cows are.
maybe this is Alan's Hemingway theory. Okay, maybe you're driving along and someone's like, "Hey, look, it's a farm," and you get your face buried in some sort of Game Boy, and whatever 2020 version is of Game Boy. I don't know what it is.
Very timely reference, Wes. Good job.
Yeah,
I don't think that generation knows what Game Boys is either.
What's the top handheld thing right now? I have no clue. I know PlayStation is up till 5. I know Xbox
is up to like S with the letter S.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. I was going to say 362, 720, Xbox 720. Is that what we're up to these days?
Yeah, because the one after the 360 it wasn't even the 720,
God,
which is preposterous. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, after 360, it was one, you dumbass.
It was the one, yeah.
The one or one?
Yeah.
Xbox One, yeah.
God. Do you really want to know what the last gaming console that I owned was?
Sure.
Sega.
Yes, I'm gonna go PS3.
Sega Dreamcast.
Really?
That's a good system.
Yeah, that was great.
That's like a fucking
Yeah.
that's a gamer fucking like you got a little street cred there.
That was it's circa 2001, 2002.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And now
Something
we
like that.
we had a Wii in the house when I lived in Newark with Kilby. That we obviously frequented and played a lot,
So
but
the
I haven't
new-
owned one.
The new handheld is the Nintendo Switch.
That's the top.
Yeah.
That's the dog. Does Sony have any game in any stake in that?
Any handheld? No,
Yeah.
no.
Nintendo is the overlord. Is the
It's
Bowser
like
of this.
the handheld, but it can dock. It comes with a dock so that you can like plug it into your television and still play it like a kind of like a Wii, almost.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's like
I've got it.
controllers and shit. Yeah.
I bought it for my kid. It's good. It's like, I mean, it's not a PlayStation, it's not an Xbox, but it's like it's Nintendo on crack and steroids. It's really well done for what it is, and it's pretty awesome. It plays on your TV. You pick it up and you can take it with you. Yeah. But I don't think Sony or Microsoft. I don't think they're vying for the mobile platform because we've all got them. We've all got the mobile platform in our pocket. You just need your phone. That's all you need.
This generation of like this PS5 and this Xbox, whatever fucking letter, they're more like low end gaming computers now. Like that's basically like the technical component wise. They're like entry level gaming computers that they can package up because America doesn't want to just build a computer. They want you to give them something to sit on your mantle. They want to give you a mini refrigerator that you just sit on your fucking shelf for the next 10 years, and that's what you play games out of.
Requires a lot of power.
Yeah,
has a fan.
Requires its own power supply.
Right.
Apparently, the Xbox, like its exhaust comes out the top, and you can float a ping pong on it.
Christ,
are you serious?
If you're gonna power
there's
that
like
puppy,
videos of it. What's up?
I said if you're going to power that puppy, that doesn't shock me.
It's supposed to be pretty crazy.
You ready to have your mind blown, Wes? You don't.
Okay, so we've abandoned kids not seeing cows. All right, yeah, shoot.
Oh, we'll get back to it. You don't buy the games. You download them.
Oh, I knew that.
There's
Yeah,
okay.
I was aware of that.
That blows my mind.
Well, you
it
can
blows
buy
my. Yeah, but you can't. One of them doesn't even have a spot to like insert anything. It's either the PlayStation or the Xbox.
Oh,
or
you mean these two new ones? Yeah, I think one of them does. I think it's the Xbox, maybe. I think the PlayStation.
Just straight from the
does.
internet. Just hook it up to the tap. Next thing you know, boom, just right to the back of your fucking brainstem.
And it's
Right.
just fucking Matrix.
Have any of you done any of the virtual VR?
Yeah.
Is it wild?
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, my bosses at my last company, they had like the legit one, because they were kind of game nerds too. So they had very nice PCs built that could handle like this, and the HTC Vive is what they had, which is legit. Like, it's goggles, it's two handles, and then there's literally like sensors that you set up in the room that captures you in the space. And so you're legit in fucking virtual reality. Like, we were playing some shooting game, like shooting zombies, and like you can move around the room and it'll throw up like an invisible barrier to let you know like you're at a physical wall. Like, don't run into the fucking wall.
Nice.
And shit like that. It's insane, but it's fun as fuck. But it's a little expensive. The Vive itself was like, I think was like $800, and then you have to build a gaming computer that's probably in the ballpark of like $2,000 at least to handle something like that.
Right. Probably a little
Here's
out
a
of my
question.
budget.
Yeah.
Can you milk a virtual cow?
I mean, you have to first identify one.
That's true.
In its crate on 95, on Interstate 95. You have to be like, yep, that's that. That's a cow.
Right. It won't give you. You're
No,
saying
and
it won't give you the pleasure of milking a cow until you can actually say that's cow.
Identify it, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Wait, here's a question: have you ever milked a cow?
No. I think
No.
I've had the opportunity, and I was like, you know what? That's not for me.
I want to say at some field trip during middle school, they were like, "All right, who from the group would like to milk a cow?" And they were like, I had my hand up, and they picked the person next to me.
Oh, those sons of bitches.
Yeah.
'Cause I took my kid to a real Amish farm, and the girl, who must have been 11, gave us the tour of her Amish farm, and my boy was 4, and I was like, hey, can he milk that cow? She was just, yeah, sure, why not? Why the fuck not? Who cares? There ain't no OSHA in fucking Amish town.
Like, we didn't sign waivers.
Yeah. so my kid's underneath the fucking teat, just yank it away and just squirting milk in his own mouth. It was fucking awesome. And then he starts to realize like these Amish people are basically making $30 a head to go in and just show you how they make breakfast. Like you in there preparing their day's lunch is just them fucking giving a tour. This is their life. And for us, it's an amusement park. It's fascinating. And it's fascinating that we've gotten to this point. At least my son now has not only seen a cow, but he's touched the teat and he's drank straight from the udder. And there's some 24-year-old asshole in New York City where Rudy Giuliani's bleeding fucking brown goo all over his face. They've never seen a fucking barnyard animal. This is why we're doomed.
This is it's gonna. I feel like this is gonna come full circle on every bit that we do for the next week, maybe 2, maybe 3 podcasts.
I don't know. He seems to be on a ranting spree, so we might have plenty more material.
Yeah, I haven't seen a fucking cow. Yeah, that's depressing. Shame on you people. Do it yourself project. That's lack of inspiration.
You can't even fucking
see
Google
a cow. You haven't like wandered around in the back seat of your parents' car on a little bit of a road trip, just a little bit, something moderately remote.
Yeah, like I mean, you assholes have like Googled fucking something about eating asshole on Reddit in the last week, but you can't fucking look up what a cow looks like. Shame on you, motherfuckers. That's all I gotta say.
Shame on you. And maybe, just maybe, during this car excursion with your family, maybe it looks something a little like this.
Oh, what?
Do you guys see this? Whee!
Holy
Holy
shit.
shit, that's awesome.
Off the road of California. They show it here in slow-mo again. Yeah, just they didn't even. I didn't see anything about the person falling asleep. That's straight up Dukes of Hazzard style.
Yeah.
That is straight
No,
up.
there's-
I don't know. Maybe
There's
the shocks got blown or the engine got popped through the hood.
Did you happen to, Wes, see the car blow through like the makeshift outdoor setup in front of Blue Agave this weekend?
No,
What? Okay, so Blue Agave is a
that's
very-
where I did my burrito eating challenge.
yeah,
and
that's
failed.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very delicious Mexican restaurant in Federal Hill, and so now with the COVID, they set up like basically the plastic jersey wall that you're supposed to fill with water or sand or some shit to make themselves a little outdoor area for people to eat at. And yeah, some asshole 4:30 in the morning, the camera at Diablo Donuts across the street caught it just taking out the entire outside. I'm trying to find the video.
You got sharing options if you ever get to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But yeah, don't be an asshole in the car. That's bad news bears.
Alan, didn't you almost wind up in the harbor one night?
I did.
Yeah, you hear that, Murr? It's like the car was teetering off, like
One
in Fells Point.
tire. It was like
Oh.
it could have been way worse, but yeah, it was almost bad. It was back before like Pier 5 and all that was like built up, and me and some unnamed fraternity brothers of ours were out gallivanting in Fells Point, and a young Alan was driving a car when he should not have been driving a car. Made a wrong turn and turned into a dark lot to just pop a Yui. That dark lot, unbeknownst to Alan at the time, was right on the edge of the inner harbor. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that was almost bad.
Did you
almost-
guys
it
have to
could-
do like a...
Could have been the worst. Could have been fucking
No,
death.
so my two compatriots legitimately fled. They just left. They left me, which was fine.
Wow.
It's understandable.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's really rude of them, but it's fine. In the moment, it was understandable because I'm pretty sure. I think I might have just been 21, but like I think one of them was like 19. So he was like, "Peace, I'm out." But anyway, yeah. So I mean, Baltimore City cops don't give a fuck. Cop kind of just laughed at me. We called a tow truck. Tow truck yanked my car back over, popped my tire. Then my dad and the cop giggled as I changed my tire. All sorts of hammered. And then yeah, that was about it. That was the evening.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
Concise.
Wonderful. You got this story? You got this thing fired up?
No, I don't because I was telling this guy
too,
the story. And I
too
completely
busy
lost
telling
track.
us about how you almost fell into the harbor. Even if you didn't drown, there may have been some serious health ramifications.
Yeah, no, that's probably. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably dead.
I don't know how
Yeah,
up to
but
date your tetanus
three
shot is.
Three grown men could have gotten that car back situated. Is all I'm saying. Like you guys could have fixed the scenario.
Could have. I
That's-
think it just panic set in. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I mean,
19-year-old boys at bars in Fells Point, man.
Yeah,
Think
I
they're
mean, there
thinking
was a lot
rational
of-
then?
There's a lot of problematic stuff going on with that whole scenario, but okay, I got it. I got this video.
You got sharing options.
Do.
T.
Okay, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
Oh, wow.
Obviously, you
That-
see.
Blue agave
Set up
right there
right
to
here,
the left, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I see blue moon.
I'm gonna have to defend. I'm already. Gonna
Whoa!
That was some sleight of hand right there, because you were showing me the Jersey barrier. So I'm looking at the Jersey barrier, thinking like I'm probably gonna stick up
Oh,
for this guy
here?
because the Jersey barriers are in the road, and then
Oh,
he hits the other side of the street.
I like the dude
Where
that just drove by and just said, "Fuck it." I'm
He was
out.
like, "Oh, yep, he's moving. Okay, we're good." So yeah, that's what occurred on.
I mean-
Saturday night.
In reality, now I want you to put yourself in the driver's seat for just a second. For those that didn't see the video, he basically takes out everything on the sidewalk in front of like a store on, a typical Baltimore City street. You got to remember, he was really only 2 inches off as far as the steering wheel goes. I mean, it's a very consequential 2 inches, but you got your hand at midnight, driving one-handed, and then you just kind of veer over to about what 12:30, and everything's fucking ruined.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, so
reality,
you're basing this off of the margin of error while driving in Baltimore being smaller somehow gives this person
Yes.
the green light for doing what we just saw? No.
I mean, I'm not absolving him of all of his sins. I'm saying that his margin of error was very small, but his the outcome was very large. That's all I'm saying.
I've driven by that probably a dozen times in the last, I don't know, 2 months. Alan, you?
Yeah, all the time. We get Diablo donuts like every weekend,
Yeah.
so we're like literally across the street.
Never 12:30'd it into the fucking front outdoor dining area of Blue
No,
Agave.
but again, 33-year-old Alan, very much unlike 20-year-old Alan, was not driving at 4:30 a.m. Most likely coming back from a booty call and driving through a Mexican restaurant's outdoor fucking space.
I wonder if they got drive-through.
God, dude, could you?
Well,
he had plans for brunch there in the morning too.
Oh, that's so sad. Well, I mean, he just took out some tables. I'm sure it's fine. I mean, that was literally hundreds of dollars worth of damage. It wasn't that bad. But
I just said, go ahead.
I almost if I wasn't if I wasn't as quick on my feet as I am, I almost caused a tragedy the other day because I was driving and I started sneezing, and I was about to it was that really violent sneeze, and I had my left hand on the wheel, and as I came down, I almost jerked the wheel, but I was smart enough to just let go of the steering wheel completely, and the whole time after that I was just daydreaming, what the fuck would I tell the cop when I just murdered a family of 6 because I had a bad moment with allergies? And I always just think that margin of error is just that minuscule. So what if he sneezed?
So this guy was sneezing?
Morning?
This guy was sneezing?
Yeah, what if he was sneezing?
Man, that'd have to be a sneezing fit of a century. But I'm willing to give him a hall pass if that was his excuse.
I don't know, that's a tight piece of road, and he was boogieing.
Yeah.
At 4:30 a.m.
Not sneezing, boogieing.
I mean, he could have been sneezing. There could have been something wrong with his nose.
Sneezing boogies. Doing that PED. Wrap up a few things here. This is from, let's see here, the Daily Star. School bans parents from throwing kids over locked gate if they arrive late. So apparently this is a school district in France, a little bit south of Paris. There's a hard 8:30 deadline, and it's a no tolerance policy for kids who show up late. So if you show up after 8:30, nada, you're not getting in here. They say the school name, that's irrelevant. What is relevant is that it's a 6-foot concreted fence, and parents who bring their kids in late are just firing those fuckers over like they're shot puts. Just boom, get them in the school. All right, gotta get to work. Ethical, unethical, okay with it, not okay with it, whatever. It's France. Why are these people worried about things?
I think it's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're fucking hucking them over into like a Catholic church or anything. It's like fucking it's fine. It's a safe space, presumably. I mean, they should be able to navigate their way. Walk in, hey teacher, I'm here for fucking school like I am every other day. I just I got hucked over the wall. I'm good. We're fine.
This is the school's fault. I get it. I mean, so what's the alternative? Like, the kid doesn't go to school all day? So, the parents are obviously running late, which is why the kid's late. It's not like the kid's taking themselves to elementary school. And so all of a sudden, you get there at 8:31, and now you have to call out of work so you can take care of your kid because you were fucking 60 seconds behind the time. Fuck that. I'm chucking William as high as I can get him. Land on your feet, boy. Learn some agility, baby.
Maybe that's what we saw with the Blue Agave video. Maybe it was a grade schooler who didn't want to be late for school anymore.
Exactly.
I used to argue with this a lot when I was in school. There has to be some repercussions being late. There has to be. I mean, you can't just roll in leisurely. I mean, I don't know, you have a smirk on your face like you're about to tell me this grand scheme where you were late every day your senior year or something like that. But hold on, let me finish.
No, it's just 72 times.
72 tardies. Beautiful. Great. Just a shade. Whatever. Like my train of thought. There has to be repercussions for this. If you're late for work repeatedly, you get fired. You get shit canned. School should be the same way. But they had a tardy policy now, and I don't know if it was the same at your school, but if you were tardy so many times, you got suspended. So it just got easy to like, okay, well, if I'm going to get suspended, I might as well just leave and just go home and say I'm sick. I'll miss the whole day, which is counterproductive towards education. Now, this is kind of like, I mean, yeah, this is an extreme case. We weren't at 17, we weren't having our parents build some sort of fucking catapult system to fire us in pumpkin chunkin style over a 6-foot fence. Why do they have a 6-foot fucking fence over the school grounds anyways? Weird to me, but I don't know. Like, what do they just get them by the rear end and obviously these are dads doing it, unless these moms are like athletes.
Well, Wes, you're 6 foot tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dead on, 6'0".
Yeah.
So, I mean, all you do is you have little Billy. He gets up on your shoulders, and then he just jumps. And then he's got he's got a drop that's probably twice his actual height.
Right.
And then he learns what cartilage is.
They're elastic. They bend.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, a kid can jump. Dude, I've seen my kid jump off the top of a back of a couch, which is about 5 feet, and just fucking land and sprawl out and laugh and do it 50 times in a row. Something that would maim me for the rest of my adult life. He just does leisurely. But here's the thing, though. The school is forcing parents to do this, is my point. I do get your point on, like, well, does need to be repercussions, but those repercussions should happen inside the walled-off area inside of the school and not leave it up. Like, what if you've got some asshole parents that make their, like, 8-year-old walk to school by themselves in the city, and then he gets there, what, is he just going to go hang out? He's going to be like The Hangover Part 3, and the city just consumes him. He just becomes like a runaway street urchin, just pickpocketing people for money because he couldn't make it to fucking drawing class at 8:32. It's just a dumb idea. You leave parents no choice but to trebuchet their children over a wall.
Yeah, when you say it's dads and little Billy, I mean, what if it's moms and little Lisa? You know.
Oh, I'm an equal opportunity child thrower. I have no problem with that.
All right, checking them over.
I think most children can climb on their parents' shoulders and hop over a 6-foot fence.
Yeah.
Regardless of sex or gender.
We're going. What an analysis. Last thing before we wrap up, before 3 and out. So it says dating phenomenon, hat fishing. Has been seen a recent surge online. Hat fishing, which is known as when someone conceals their baldness under the hat on social media or dating apps. So basically, they have a series of pictures or something that showcases them. Then they're always wearing a hat. They get to the date, they take it, revealing that they're bald. Let's see here. It comes to a survey that 1,000 adults found that 1 in 10 Brits claimed they had been hat fished. I presume that's females, while 40% of them said that they would go no further with a potential interest had they found out they had been hat fished. There's a lot of other statistics going on and on and on. But hat fishing, Murray, you sent me this. Tell me why.
I sent this to you because apparently bald shaming is the last shaming that's allowed in the world. It's the last form of bullying that is openly accessible to all. It is not frowned upon. I'm bombarded on a daily basis with commercial after commercial. The latest is the new product Hims, which, by the way, Hims, if you'd like to sponsor us, I will gladly try your product. But you're not allowed to be bald. Like being bald now, you can't make fun of somebody. Apparently, like you're some sort of phobic if you won't have sex with a transsexual. You know, like that's not even allowed. You're not even allowed to be that. But you have to you don't have to be accepting of the bald folks. So why would someone then, even hearing the information you just read, where they would move on no further if the hat was off? Well, then why the fuck do you think they're wearing the hat in the first place? They're trying to trick you out to a conversation that maybe the personality can get over the fact that you want them to put some LA looks in their hair. That's why I sent you it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I thought I was going to get the Cliff Notes version. You gave me the whole novel. You gave me the whole Hemingway.
Look, I think you should just be proud of it. You don't want to pull Giuliani to like you did today. You don't want that. Just own it. Just be bald. If you like a broad and you're bald and you just got to let her know. She's going to find out. You can't wear a hat all the time. So you just gotta own it, bald guys. I mean, I don't know what it's like. I have luxurious hair, and tons of it. Quite frankly, I need a haircut. So, I mean, I don't know your plight, but I want you to be proud of yourself because I don't want you thinking like that, guys. Here's
the thing: I'm only wearing a hat right now because of the ungodly glare you guys will get if I pull the hat off of my head. It's not even because I'm ashamed. I'm actually glad I lost my hair. I don't want to regrow my hair because I now know what it's like to not have to manage or worry about or shampoo or style, wake up with bedhead, go get a haircut, all the money I've saved and time I don't have to waste fooling with it anymore. I know I have a genetic condition that allows me to reach this epiphany, but I wouldn't want to go back now. And I feel like not taking something to regrow hair is actually liberating because now I'm saving money by not trying to regrow my hair. I'm not anxious about it. I don't worry about it. But for the guys who don't have women in their lives, they have to do these things or apparently they won't have a woman in their life. They're fucked. They're fucked until they get a ring on their finger. Then they can let their non-freak flag fly.
Or just own it and wear a bunch of different hair pieces.
Hey, yeah. Look at that.
See this?
See, I'll do it too. I'll do it too. Take mine off.
But look. It literally looks like I've just been washed out. Like it's a bad filter on Instagram. So I have to keep the hat on my head. It's not because I'm ashamed. I'm helping you.
To us?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I can't
like
leave
that.
this thing off the whole time.
Oh, because of sight lines and things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's all for aesthetics. What's it called? Hold on.
Hat fishing.
Hat
Because I've
fishing.
seen... I know I'm not going to mention their name, but I know somebody on Facebook that I went to high school with that was very dreamy in high school, and then he lost all of his hair, and you can't find a single picture of him with his hat off. It's all hat on because he's ashamed of it, and he thinks he won't get any chicks if he's bald. And apparently, he's right.
Now, here's the question. Like, Mur, when you had hair, was your hair luxurious?
No, I always say I was just a standard white guy with the most Asian boy hair there ever was. It was just super straight.
Okay.
Yeah, black, straight, couldn't do anything with it. Like you had to gel it up, and then it would get too crispy with too much gel. And then if you take the gel out of it, it didn't lay right. It was honestly, it was always something that I was anxious about. Checking my hair in the mirror in a bar, like every time I was at a bar and I go into the bathroom, ooh, little flick, little water, not too much water, little flick. And then I'd be so freaked out about it that when I finally shaved it off, I was like, I don't have to deal with this anymore. It doesn't look bad, and I don't have to worry about any of this shit. Every 4 days, I just buzz it off, and I'm good to go again.
Yeah. I think it's much tougher if you were in high school and you had long flowing locks, and then you made it to your 30s and then you were just bald and that was that. So I could see you having a little bit of remorse, remembering the good old days. But if you were burdened with shitty hair anyway and then you lost it, or just average hair, not even shitty hair, average hair, and then you lost it, it's probably a blessing. Just own it. Like I said, just fucking own it, fellas. No
Own
big
that
deal.
shit.
It's a blessing until you read stories like this where that assumption is true that people are judging you in some strange way.
Yeah, I also think that a lot of this is chicks being like, well, dude, why didn't you just tell me? Like, if I had just seen your bald head, I might have just said no, yes, possible. But I could have been like, okay, fucking bald guy. Seems like we have, he likes walks on the beach, fucking
Hemingway.
Hemingway, fucking eating fucking donuts in front of Mexican restaurants, like whatever it may be, that's the connection. You know what I mean? And then she can kind of overlook it. But if you're straight stone cold being like, check out my hat, ladies, look at this face, and then you come out fucking free balling, yeah, it's rough.
Okay, well, the alternative, think about somebody like a Joe Biden. You notice you only see Joe Biden from the front. You ever see a picture of Joe Biden from the back?
Got a great
Those
ass.
hair plugs. Those hair plugs didn't make it much further than the forehead, baby. And think about all of the surgical procedures that guy's had just to fake like he's got hair. Do you really want that? Think about how emotionally crippled you have to be to go through. Dude, Joe Buck lost his voice because he had some botched hair transplant go down. Did you know this?
No. Joe Buck, the announcer?
The announcer, they did something where they were putting hair plugs in.
You had switched it into Joe Biden. I thought maybe you were having
No,
Joe Buck, gotcha.
Joe Buck was so concerned about his hair loss that he was having hair plugs put in, and they hit a nerve that ran all the way down to his throat, and he could not broadcast. So whenever there was some point where he said he was like experiencing some sort of medical condition, and the whole world like reached their hearts out to him like, oh, so for a speedy recovery, Joe. No, it's because he was taking hair off the back of his neck and jamming it into his fucking temples. I have no sympathy for that man. Just fucking shave it off and call a game.
Yeah, you gotta accept it at some point. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing. It's just a call for acceptance, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Like when you know it, when you see it, just let it go.
And you can't pull the like a handkerchief. It's an old guy move. You can't pull the over. That's an old guy move. You got to get rid of that shit. We got to divide ourselves to that generation.
No comb overs. Own it, but it's not men that need to own it. It's women that need to accept the male ownership.
Right.
I think, and here's one for the ladies. I think if men own it, women will accept you and beginning owning it themselves. That's all I'm saying.
You need to
Stay
put
confident.
out. You need to put out.
Oh,
you need to
that's
put
what
out.
it is. Yeah, just sleep with bald guys, ladies. That's all. That's what we're saying. Give them a bone, or the other way around. Either way.
We aren't doctors, but we'd love to take a look at some more of the Middle Classholes.
All right, Murr, it's our favorite segment coming at you.
That's right. It's time for your favorite 3 questions of the week. It's time to get to 3 and Out. And, of course, 3 and Out, as always, being brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Remember, less than 25 years ago, if you were suffering from shin splints, you had to suffer alone, in silence. Now, in the internet age, you can chat about it with other people, about this commonly occurring ailment. You can one-up tales of misery with strangers and leave your loved ones alone. Check out the Shin Splints Recovery Group on Facebook. All right, your first question this week in 3 and Out. I'm going to start off with something a little simple, and Alan, we'll begin with you. Would you rather be royalty 1,000 years ago or just be an average person today?
I mean, I think that's fairly easy. I'd just be royalty 1,000 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm already an average person today. I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess. But being royalty 1,000 years ago was definitely fucking way cooler. I mean, not that I have the desire currently to own people, but you could own people back then, and that's just a privilege that only 1,000 years ago could provide you. So, I mean, yeah, I just think my life's way better. I probably have tons of land, a big old castle, fucking, people waiting on me hand and foot. Yeah, royalty 1,000 years ago, no brainer.
Okay, before I argue your point, Wesley, same question to you, obviously.
Waiting on you, hand and foot, literally.
Yes.
I think I don't know. I just think like there's 1020. I think that for me that breaks the threshold of an era that I'm not comfortable living in. I mean, if you say like 300 years ago, like 1720, I may do that, but 1020 or sometime in that era, I think this is when they were if you broke a leg, you were fucked. Or a broken arm, you were screwed. Sometimes a flu would knock you. They don't have any penicillin, the medical advances, all that stuff, and then no television. I mean, what? Alan, what are you basing this off of? Just the fact that you can like roam around a castle and do nothing like Murr would want to do nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, basically. I mean, because you say like all these things, like I could break a leg. Well, what am I doing to break a leg?
Jousting.
I'm not working.
Jousting.
I'm not fucking. What's that? Jousting?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess in theory. I don't know that I fancy myself as a knight, though. I think I fancy myself as more of like a wine drunk intellectual.
There you go.
What's his face from Robin Hood?
You know what I mean? Like, I have a lab. I dabble in alchemy, and I'm a man whore. Basically, that's basically that's how I see it personally.
Bring all.
I'm definitely not the knight. That sounds like a lot of work.
All the finest women with the hairiest bushes you can find in town.
Okay, well, Alan, 1,000 years ago, though, yeah, you would have the nicest hole in the ground, but you'd still be shitting in it. You would have to like, you would have to beat a servant to prepare your like freshly killed cow.
Nah, I mean,
they'd
I think
have to
that's
roast it over a spit.
I think that servant is pretty like willingly doing their job because like they probably eat some of the food that they've helped prepare me. You know what I mean? If they didn't, then they would probably most likely starve in the village with the rest of the riffraff. You say I only have a hole to shit in, but I'll tell you who doesn't clean that hole. So, I mean, I think I'm still winning here. That's all I'm saying.
I still think that like the poorest guy that the three of us know is probably wealthier than any one person that lived 1,000 years ago. At their wealthiest, I was I heard a story about the Incas. And this guy, he was their king, and when the conquistador came to him with a Bible and said, "This is the this is the story that speaks to us," he took the book and shook it and said, "Didn't say anything to me," and threw it on the ground. Like that was the caliber of intelligence back then. So yes, you might be leading legions of people, but it would be legions of idiots.
Maybe that's the point. They all listen to you.
Vastly different from today, other than some technological advances.
We're all more informed.
You have more technology in your back pocket than they even had 50 years ago.
Yeah,
You'd have none of this.
I know.
Okay.
But like I said, my power, I think, is a little bit more absolute back then.
So what are you, like, catapulting shit all day? Like, just doing weird experiments? You said alchemy?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm probably just, like, trying to turn lead into gold, fucking scooping wine out of a barrel next to my laboratory table, and then just summoning hoes, basically. Like, hey, is Andrea at the house? Yo, send fucking Jimathan over to Andrea's house. I would like to see her, please. Thank you.
By the way, you're already 3 years past your average life expectancy. So well done.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. You got to get it in early.
I would like to have my testicles bathed in the Merlot that
I probably have like tons of illegitimate children that I don't account for whatsoever. I probably throw them out of the city.
Throw them over a 6 foot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of drama that I don't need while I'm trying to turn lead into gold.
Oh, your dreams are much different than mine, Alan. Moving on. All right, question number 2 in this week's 3 and Out. Now, this was the 3 and Out sneak peek question of the week. You can find that each and every week on the official The Middle Classholes Facebook page. Head on over to Facebook, type in The Middle Classholes. If you have not liked and followed us yet, please do so. And it reads as such. Wes, this one going out to you first. Would you rather sell all of your possessions or sell one of your organs? Now, I want you to think about this. It's not as simple as I think it comes off on the surface. And I do want to throw the caveat in there. It's got to be a real organ. I saw somebody post they get rid of their appendix, which you don't need anyway. It's got to be a sought after, like a legitimate organ. And I do, in fact, have a chart that has some good price guidelines on how much certain organs are worth.
Okay. Oh, you have it on there. I mean, so a kidney. Yeah.
Okay, kidney. Kidney's going for $200,000. So, would that be worth it to you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't need both of them. That to me, that's the bare bones. I don't know. I'm not going to sell a lung. How about my heart? I sell my heart.
Hearts are a pretty penny. Hearts are not as much as I thought. $119,000 for a heart. Now you have to remember, though, I think we're looking at this a little bit wrong. Now that's the value of your heart, or that's the value of your kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you need to weigh really is like how much are your possessions worth versus how much would it be worth to have to go through the trauma of having a fucking functioning organ ripped from your body.
Right. And then I think the other thing is when I saw this question, it was like, well, at least you have your health. No one wants to hear that shit. Like, fuck you. All right. I get it. But then actually it kind of makes sense. Yeah. How much is what? It's kind of depressing thinking about how much all this stuff's worth. I think I'll give rid of my possessions.
Especially for you, because you're a renter. You don't own that place.
Nope.
So it's like, you see, so your cost evaluation is a little bit different than mine.
Yeah, and that '09 Hyundai Accent 2-door manual everything with a different colored door is worth 1,000 tops. Okay. I fucking hate this. I hate that. I'm quitting after tonight. I'm done. What do you want, Alan? What are you selling? You selling something? You selling things?
Yeah, maybe. That's tough. I'm in the same boat. Like, I rent.
Yeah, but you got Han Solo and fucking Lando Calrissian dolls behind you that are worth more than anything I own. So
those are shoes, actually.
Oh, really?
You should trade those to Wes for his car.
He's probably got to give me something else. Actually,
straight up.
He's got to give me something on top of the car. He's got to give me his golf clubs. No, man. I don't know. I think I might like a kidney seems good. You said how much? $200,000?
Yeah, $200,000 on the black market. And now this is, by the way, I do have to throw this in there. This is the American black market. Now there are several black market prices. I got his top dollar here. Now kidneys on the black market in India go for $30,000. So that's a $170 upswing if you can find the right guy in the right alley on the right street in the right town.
Yeah, this isn't exactly done in your standard operating room with sterilization of everything and professionals. So just so you know that you're not going down to Hopkins to get your kidney removed to then be sold.
No, I assumed this was happening in like an easy storage container.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I also don't most easy storage units have the appropriate surgical lighting, I believe, right on top. So, but I digress. Yeah, I think I might have to sell an organ because that seems like a good return on investment. I mean, I got 2 of them. Obviously, I think it's telling that they fucking undervalue like the shit that you need to be dead for. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll give you $200,000 for a kidney because they know they got to entice you to do it because you could still live. But for your heart, they only offer your family like $100,000 because they're like, well, he's fucking dead. So here's that. You know what I mean? That seems rude. But I think financially it might work out. I don't have to sell everything. I then have $200,000.
No, you don't have $200,000. It's an and or. You either sell all of your shit or you give up the organ.
Yeah, give up the organ.
But you don't get the $200,000. You just give up the organ and get to keep all your shit.
Oh, that's lame. Oh, well then,
Sell all my shit and buy new shitty shit.
yeah. I mean, 200 grand. Yeah, we could probably replace most of everything.
That's assuming everything you own's worth 200 grand.
Yeah, I think we might have a little left over.
Those penis dolls you guys have downstairs.
Yeah, might be able to upgrade the cars. Maybe. But no, actually, that seems reasonable. So, no, I'll go ahead. I'll sell it. I'll take that 200,000 and start a new life. It's fine.
There's nothing in this that says $200,000, right?
You're not getting any money
Oh,
for the kidney.
Then I'm totally.
You either lose the kidney but keep your stuff, or you get rid of all your stuff and keep your kidney.
I'll sell all my
I
stuff.
shouldn't have entered. I shouldn't have
Yeah, we
introduced.
shouldn't have entered
dollar
in
amounts.
dollars amounts now. Well,
No.
none of those is good.
No, that's the point of these questions.
Yeah.
We've been
But
doing this
usually
for a year.
Usually we can find a silver lining in this. There is no silver lining in this one.
You know, we
But
talked
then-
about Americans getting dumber earlier in this podcast.
Yep.
I feel like we're
that's
witnessing
right,
it right here.
Yeah, man. You know, it's leeching over. I think I'll keep all my shit.
Okay,
Finally.
so you'll just lay up in a hospital bed, and you don't have to replace any of your stuff. You just have to heal and get on with life.
Yeah. Yep. Let me keep all my shit. We'll keep it moving.
Okay, because that's the option I'm taking. Because I technically own I don't know 2/3 of my home. It's getting there, and that's I don't know what the evaluation of this place is, but it's probably more than any one of my organs would be worth in the first place. I couldn't replace all this stuff even if I sold it. And you're not going to get top dollar for all of your shit. Okay, so your Lando Calrissian shoes, how much did you pay for them? How much is somebody going to pay you for them?
I think
so
if I did it right now, I'd get something back. But if I wait too long, it'll be over.
Yeah. So you have to evaluate what you think your shit's worth versus what other people think your shit's worth, and how much depreciation is going to happen there. Whereas with selling a kidney or giving up I think you can give away half your liver. I think they accept that because livers grow back partially after you've got them cut out. Corneas, by the way, $30,000, just to let you know. But I think I'd rather just go ahead and be laid up in a hospital bed for 6 months, and then I don't have to replace all my stuff. Mainly because I'm lazy and I wouldn't have to try to rebuy all the things I already own. When I have to go car shopping and house shopping and oven shopping and refrigerator shopping. That's just lame, man. And my goal of doing nothing would be medically induced. So it's kind of a win-win for me.
That's a good point.
Why the hell would you need to go fucking refrigerator oven shopping? Just buy a new place that had a fucking oven and refrigerator. Are the places you buy are the places are the pieces of property you're looking at ovenless, kitchenless, applianceless?
Yeah, but maybe you get in there and you have just a shitty refrigerator. You got to upgrade.
Yeah, right.
That's a good point. I never really thought about it like that. When you buy a house, it doesn't just come with nothing inside of it. It actually comes with stuff. But I mean, you're technically buying it. They're just tacking it on. And in reality, you'd probably save more money if you didn't have it come furnished with all of your appliances. You can go out and a la carte it yourself. You're probably gonna get paid twice for a shitty fucking dishwasher. It's gonna break in the first year that you own the place in the first place.
True.
But I did want to go through some of these prices and see what you guys thought of some of these. So kidneys are $200,000. Do you think that's a fair, solid deal on a kidney?
That's reasonable, I think.
It's
I don't
the
know
frame
what
of
the rest
reference.
of the market looks like.
The frame of reference as compared to other organs, it sounds odd to me. Why they're $200,000? The only thing I can think of is that they are an organ that seems to be the most shareable amongst humans. But they when you get a kidney transplant, they really only last about 5 to 7 years. So you got to get another one. Yeah. They're not good for life.
Well, that's interesting. But I mean, I would say that there's a high demand for kidneys. The survivability rate for both parties, at least in the immediate future, is pretty high for the most part. So and you can really entice. I'll give you $200,000 for that kidney. Oh
yeah, wait, what?
Sure. Yeah. All right. Okay. It's pretty. So I assume the dollar value is so high because 1, both parties live, and 2, so many people need them. So it's pretty enticing. Yeah. A liver. Anybody? Any guesses for the going rate of a standard human liver?
I'm gonna assume by what you said from the heart that they're gonna fucking chintz you on this one, and it's like $100,000. Because again, you cannot live without it.
Wes?
It's just slightly higher, maybe like 120, 125.
Okay, Wes wins this round, but well done, Alan. Right ballpark, $157,000 for a liver. Just remember, the way we're harvesting these things, we're not necessarily concerned about the outcome of the person on the other side.
Yeah.
The heart, I already said, $119,000. Corneas. How much do you think you can get for a pair of corneas right from the old eyeballs, Wes?
I don't know, 75 grand?
Nope, you're a little highballing it there, Alan.
Yeah, I was going to say like 50. That seems reasonable. 50
A
grand?
little bit lower. It's actually only $30,000, and usually it's paid to the family of the corpse. So I don't know how much bargaining power you have. I mean, like a day or two's worth before
That's another thing. They're taking them from dead bodies and they're lowballing people. It's fucked up.
I'm going to go through a few of these. Bone marrow, $3,000. You can eggs. Now that we're off the market on these, but eggs anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. I wonder that's a wide price range. You think it depends on IQ?
Yeah,
I think it does actually depend on like lifestyle and like you do like a whole genetic workup and shit. No bullshit.
Huh. Okay. Bones and ligaments are only a few $1,000s. Dude, this is what's fucked up. Well, nah, I guess it's not that fucked up. A good artery, you can get $1,500 for it. Small intestine, $2,500. Skull and teeth. Skull with teeth. I'm sorry.
That's for a face
Alan,
transplant.
Skull with teeth?
Yeah.
Under like $1,000, maybe a little under, like $750.
Solid guess, Wes.
I'm gonna double it. Bob Barker, 12. Let's see, $750. Yeah, $1,300.
Ooh, just over $1,200 for a skull with teeth. That seems like low for a skull with teeth. Am I wrong?
No, I think that's reasonable. I wonder how much a whole skeleton is.
Actually, I have the answer to that question momentarily. But the reason I say that though is the lengths that the average American would have to go to procure a skull with all of its teeth. It just seems like there's a lot of work involved.
Well,
for just $1,200.
First of all, because it's so rare. I mean, it's the supply, the demand for it isn't so much. You had to find a donor for it's a face transplant, so they cut half of it off, and they give you the dental and stuff, and they put your face over it in plastic surgery, everything. I mean, I don't know if you've seen face transplants.
No, they're terrifying.
Yeah, I saw one up front and center.
Really?
Well, it was like a 30-hour surgery, and I was in for like an hour and a half of it.
Oh, you were actually witnessing it happen?
Yeah, that's when I was at University of Maryland, dude. I filmed all types of shit. I filmed a castration. Filmed.
What?
I don't know if it's better or worse that you got paid to watch it.
We'll do we don't want to break up 3 and Out. We'll cut that after this.
Do like a film corner.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, your question was for the full skeleton, correct, Alan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Full skeleton, $6,000.
Yeah. So $1,200 for a head with teeth? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. Spleen, $500. I actually don't even know what the spleen actually does. Here you go, Wes. This is actually more your department, though. A scalp, a regular scalp, $600. Seems like it just seems low. Like anytime you've maimed a human body for parts, it just seems like you should be getting more money for this stuff, just because of the consequences on the other side of it.
What's the hat fishing? Could be scalp fishing. That could be the next.
You do raise a good point, because we've said a couple of human body parts at this point that sound vaguely reminiscent of me, like calling the body shop when I need some car work. Like, hey, yeah, fucking fender's fucked up. That's like $700. So yeah, we'll get you one of those. We'll put an order in for that. So you just put orders fucking scalps up. Like, that seems cheap. Like, it just seems like the smaller parts are getting tossed around like loose change, and they're still human pieces of anatomy.
All right, I got two more here.
Walt, go ahead.
Blood. Now, man, we're being raped and pillaged by the American Red Cross. I know it's a great thing to give blood, but it seems like a better thing to sell blood, because apparently blood, the going price is $337 a pint. I'd give like twice a month.
Yeah.
Make an extra paycheck, man. Just like 4 times a month.
That's kind of fucked up. So wait, we donate it to the Red Cross, right? Does the Red Cross donate it then to like hospitals or whoever needs it?
Yeah.
And then, like, all right, so stay with me here. I donate blood. Murr, you go to the hospital. Fucking Red Cross donates blood to the hospital. Hospital gives Murr my blood. Then hospital charges Murr like $750. That seems fucked up.
Yeah, you're right. That does seem fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start standing in the parking lot and be like, "Yo, you need a pint?"
Right? Here, take this in with you. Tell them you got your own.
$350. They're gonna charge you $700 for it inside.
Yeah. This is crazy. I donated this shit.
Yo, I'm O negative, baby. I got all the blood you need.
You have to have a trench coat.
I keep thinking about Walter from Lebowski. Like, you need a toe? I'll get you a toe. You need a toe? I get you a toe.
And finally, skin. Do you guys know this answer? If you do, I don't care. Skin per square inch. A square inch of skin. How much?
One square. What do you do with that? Skin grafting, I suppose.
$200, right? Like see $300.
Yeah, I'll. You're gonna say 200 or 300? I'll say 1 to 150.
$10 per square inch.
$10.
Yeah,
Christ, that's a carpet sample. Carpet samples are worth more than that.
Yeah,
exactly. God, man, I don't know. I just feel like the black market needs to adjust these prices for inflation or something. There's some of these seem a little off to me. But anyway, moving on to your final question for this week's 3 and Out. Question number 3. Alan, we'll start with you. If you were kidnapped, what TV show cast would you want to come save you?
Shit. I was kidnapped, huh? I guess
now I do want to let you know, though. Now, don't get it mixed up in your head. It's the TV show cast. It is not the TV show characters.
Okay. Let's see.
Wait, what difference does that make?
Okay, I'll tell you what difference that makes. When I originally had the question, I was like, well, fuck, I just have the A-team. But then I realized that Hannibal was like a 65-year-old man who was just an actor. He couldn't scheme. He couldn't run. He didn't know how to make explosives.
Yeah.
He was just some old guy who had a fun grin on television.
Okay.
And he would probably die in pursuit to come save your ass.
So it's just the real people who played the cast.
It's just the cast.
Okay.
It's not the characters.
Got you. All right, fair enough. Okay. No, yeah.
It's not Michael Knight. It's David Hasselhoff.
I mean, with that being said, I'd have to lean to like, the cast of Walker Texas Ranger solely because I get Chuck Norris.
That's a fucking good pull, buddy.
I think that just that one guy, and who was the black Texas Ranger guy with him, whose name I can't remember. I don't know. I didn't actually watch the show. I just know it was on USA all the time in the middle of the day.
Tython, Texas Ranger. that was his guy.
Texas Ranger. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna go with that because I can't think of any all of the other like macho TV show guys that have come to mind. I'm like, nah. In real life, I don't think you're with the shit, as the kids say. Chuck Norris is definitely gonna handle some business. He's gonna come find me.
Right. So you're saying someone needs to come and save you, like if your life's in danger.
If you were kidnapped,
yeah,
what TV show cast would you want to come save you?
Ooh, man, I'll tell you what. Xena, warrior princess. I'll take Lucy Lawless, busting through the door, pushing me against her bosom.
Saying, "Can I switch mine to Hercules so we get Kevin Sorbo?"
You're safe, young Wesley.
Nurse took a wild turn there.
Nurse from me.
Kevin Sorbo just glistening in the sun, coming to save.
Well, after long thought, do I have the screen share abilities right now?
I believe you do.
Fuck, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, mainly because I'm a moron and I don't know how to fucking do it.
Gotta hit hit screen share.
It says share,
and then share it with everybody else.
Share screen.
Yeah, I know, but you motherfuckers, you're gonna have to talk me through it again. God damn it. Right. Okay.
So hover over the screen. Now you see the share screen button down at the bottom.
Yeah.
If I fucking saw the share screen button, Alan, I'd have already pushed the goddamn button.
Oh well, I think we're having.
Yeah, I got it.
You're in full screen. Yeah.
He was getting all angry. It was right in front of him.
God damn it, man! All right.
It's like when you talk to one of your parents, and they're like, "I need my readers."
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
The cast of the original American Gladiators, friends. That's who's coming to save my ass when I get taken by the Mujahideen.
Gemini, Laser, and Nitro. God, they're so beautiful, man.
I was gonna say you can just send me Gemini. Everybody's getting the fuck out the way.
All of your fantasies turned very homoerotic out of nowhere, Alan.
The one up in the far right, Zap. She got nude in a movie with John Ritter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She takes her clothes off. She takes her clothes off, and he says, "How do you feel?" And he says, "Like Mrs. Arnold Schwarzenegger." Terrible movies.
You know these things.
I don't know. Who knows what?
The only problem is their rescue plan would be quickly foiled when the tennis balls started bouncing off of all of my captors. Nitro, get him!
Nice. Look at that. The old original American Gladiators. Congratulations. Oh, you wanted me to tell you about this guy getting his dick cut off?
I mean, yeah.
No. When did that happen? When did we agree to that story?
I said
no.
Because
well, you should.
I saw surgeries.
Like, if you have cool stories of shit you videoed, then yeah, we should absolutely hear them.
Oh yeah, the castration thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so a patient apparently he had put a ring around his penis. First of all, he was schizophrenic. Okay, and they'd cut the ring off. And the doctor said, "Yeah, let this heal," and it got gangrenous. And apparently, someone in the house called the University of Maryland and said, "Listen, this thing fucking stinks. This guy's rotting penis is making the house stink." Comes in. I didn't realize it was going to happen because I had done some erectile or penis like inner penis pumps videos for this guy, which is another story. But I get called in. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna cut this guy's dick off. It's like, well, what? And again, he explains like, yeah, schizophrenics have been mutilating their genitals for centuries. As long as humans have rational thought, schizophrenics have been fucking mutilating themselves in that way. Yeah, and they pulled this guy's pants down. It looked like a hot dog that had been left over the fire for 5 minutes, and they hacked it off and rerouted his urinary tract, and his like half his scrotum was blown off because he tried to shoot his dick off and missed. Yeah, like a couple years earlier. Should we end on that? Where can you find us, Alan?
So if you want to hear more about people's dicks getting hacked off in surgically safe environments, please follow us at MDL Classholes on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can find our podcast, The Middle Classholes, THE, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all that fun stuff.
Mer, what's a penis worth? You didn't tell us that. Dick and balls. What's on the market?
Fucking, I think we've been
know.
to silence.
So small you can't shoot it off. I have a feeling it's not worth that much. Fuck. How do you miss your dick and hit a ball? Like,
What is what's the conversation in the fucking house when like the roommate's like, bro, your dick stinks. Like, go get the shit cut off, bro. Your dick it's stinking up the house. Like,
I don't know.
It smells like dog shit.
Yeah. Who's got the gangrenous dick in the house?
You got people come over, says fucking smelly ass dick, motherfucker upstairs.
I do feel like
stinking.
you're really overstepping your roommate boundaries when you're calling Johns Hopkins about a rotten penis.
That's right. Yo, did you call the ambulance? You did this? You calling for me? You calling for my dick?
Hey,
asshole.
bro, your dick stinks.
Get in there.
Your dick is dead. It's dying.
Yeah, it was a weird time. It was a weird time in my life. I was working a prototype bird's eye view camera from the top of the operating room outside the sterile field. I got close ups, got everything, got them all the stuff, all the meat and potatoes.
I used to think the Grundle cam man at the porn set had the worst photographic job in the history of photography, but yeah, you win this round, Wesley.
Had a good job for a while. Had a good job. All right, well, folks, hey, listen, we got 2 weeks back. We're gonna sort it out internally. We're gonna figure out this whole Thanksgiving Day thing. Maybe we'll give you something. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll live stream while we're stuffing cranberry down our face. I don't know. All right. Either way, good night.